Welcome back, guys, to Sensei and the Pupil. I am Sensei Paul, here with Sensei Cray and Sensei Devin. Today, we are reviewing episode 23 of Ragna Crimson. It's almost the culmination. So we just get back from the fight between Crimson and Ultimatia, and she's just getting saved by Borgias, who somehow, through the power of friendship with Nibelium, is able to break through the barrier of spatial magic. So that happens, and we just leave off from Borgias doing that, and he just killed Chimera, maybe, and also Golem, maybe. And we see their bodies on the ground.
Because Borgias is like, what, Super Saiyan tree mode? Like, what is he now?
Apparently when you kill his friends. Yeah, like Krillin. Yeah. So that happens.
Dream of Nibelium and just get strong.
So he's a tree dragon. I thought that was cool. I like how they each have their elements. I like that. So
he's tree dragon.
Yeah, it's totally Pokemon. So that happens, and all of a sudden you hear this voice like, hey, let's switch up. And it's like, who the fuck is this? Like, oh, it's that same voice that talked to Crimson earlier from Chimera's ass.
Hibichan.
Yeah.
Yes, Chimera.
Batty, yeah.
Cheekmera.
Batty, put that on the background right here.
It's going to be there.
So
that's the thumbnail.
We find out that this tail actually has a name, and his name is Felbagoth.
Felbagoth.
And he's fucking daddy, kind of.
Guess what Felbagoth is backwards?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want to think about that. It's too hard. So Felbagoth comes out of her body, and apparently that's the tail, since she is a chimera. And this dude's strong. Like, what did you guys think about his attack? Like, it almost killed his own master.
So he had one attack.
Yeah.
But it was probably the strongest attack we've seen in the whole fight, maybe?
Honestly. Other than Walter Kamui, yeah.
Probably the whole show.
Honestly.
That thing ripped through space and time, and then it also, I guess, killed the user, but it, hit everybody. Hit all of them.
Everybody was in trouble.
I'm not sure about
except for the space guys.
Right. I'm not sure about killing the user. I think Borgias let off an attack of his own before, or right when it hit him. Because if you looked at Felbagoth's shoulder, it had roots growing out of it.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of both did an attack real quick and almost killed each other. And you kind of see Felbagoth revert back to his fucking baddie form, which is Chimera, and
kind of like a humanoid form, right?
Right.
But doing that, it also cut off. Remember, it cut off Ultimatia's wings. When he did that attack, it cut off
and it hurt Crimson.
Cut Crimson's arm and leg off, and she's laying there. He is laying there on the ground,
and he's mortal now. So this is a critical injury.
But he was crying. Crimson was yelling, crying, "Why would you do this attack? This spell?"
He's like, Felbagoth.
Obviously, this is a secret weapon that wasn't meant to be used.
Borgias recognized him too.
You think so?
Borgias. I remember Borgias recognized Felbagoth. I was like, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, so old as fuck then.
Do you think Felbagoth was another monarch, guys? Or do you think maybe it was just Crimson's one of his top generals?
Right, back in the day. In the day, that makes way more sense. Yeah. Because he's old as shit. He just got his new body back, and he's really old, so he's been training all the monarchs, apparently. Or whatever. So, hopefully we get more backstory on that. Borgias is defeated, supposedly, and out of nowhere comes Glasses and cuts and does the final move on him, which was sick. I thought that was fucking sick.
That was much needed. I mean, Glasses literally is weak and powerless, so good for Glasses. He did his thing.
Good for Glasses.
Honestly, good for Glasses.
So now we're down to 2 Supreme Dragons left: the Monarch and Waltz Kamui, and we kind of see both Crimson and Ultimatia kind of do their little death throws. Ultimatia is trying to fend off the rest of the Azurite battalion. And she's Argentinium, my bad. Argentinium Core. Totally different rock, totally different group name.
Yes, totally different.
So she's fending them off with her magic, and they're getting close to killing her. They're basically, that one assassin chick drives a sword right through her skull. And she's like, yeah!
I forgot about
the maid, right?
Yeah, the maiden.
That shit was so funny, the way she just screamed, the way she screamed her ass off. That was one of my favorite parts.
And what's going on with our boys in space?
Well, we finally get into their fights, and apparently Waltz Kamui has one more form.
Yeah.
To let go of,
Yeah.
But we don't even see this form until he kind of almost gets killed.
Surpasses limits.
Again?
Right. Again. So he has a flashback of when he was basically killed, after he gained the sword, the demon sword, and we get introduced to one of the baddest fucking characters so far, honestly, in my opinion.
Okay.
most anticipated for sure.
Okay.
Well, someone who to take out Walter Kamui like that
Right.
has to be one of the most badass characters.
And she's a monarch, or it might be he.
It's
Who
a girl.
knows?
It's a girl.
Who knows
It's a
with
girl.
this androgynous anime?
It's a girl.
But what's her name again?
Gilzia.
But we get introduced to Gilzia, the clawed monarch,
Mm-hmm.
who was from another line, a whole different group.
Did she
And-
call herself Death?
Death.
I think she did.
Yes.
Actually.
Well, I mean, she basically killed him. She took his head off.
She has Sukuna's powers, dog. She just cuts shit all the time. You see that little cut she does?
And that's
Yeah.
what Walter Kamui mentions, that, oh, you can alter the cut of, like, the path of the cut. And she's like, oh, you're quick on the uptake. She's really, like, kind of quirky a little bit, and that's kind
Yeah.
of why I like her. She's nonchalant, you know.
Yeah.
She's all about getting tough opponents and kind of, like, breaking them down and letting them live again.
And also smiling with black teeth.
I mean, I think it's just, like, a black mall.
That's her thing, dude. I've been seeing this girl on my timeline for anime shit all the
Because
time.
it's so good.
Well, yeah, because people are always like, I can't wait till we see Gilzia, or I can't wait to see this girl. They don't say her
Right.
name. I never knew who she was until now.
But what do you
She's
guys think about
apparently
her?
really
Like,
hyped.
what do you anticipate now that we're introduced to another line of dragons?
I would hope.
Nothing this season.
Obviously.
Yeah, nothing, yeah,
Obviously.
the season's almost over, but I would hope that she's them showing her now. She has to be the next step.
I would
you know,
think
you-
so. Right.
For them to
Yeah.
kind of tease it.
Yeah.
Ragna's going there next.
Right.
Or she's coming here for Ragna killing Walter Camus. Like,
Right. Which was the person that got defeated by her anyways the first time. So yeah. What do you think, Ray?
True. No. I'm with you. They had to introduce her because once you beat Ultimate T, what you're gonna do?
Right.
Like, who else gonna show us how you're gonna end the season? You gotta show her. I'm just curious if this was the way to do it.
What, a flashback?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm sure the very last scene we'll probably see Gilzia like, they killed him, huh? And then they'll go on.
Dude, yeah, her smiling like, huh, so there was
Yeah.
someone stronger than, yeah.
Okay.
Because she even mentioned that, like, she...
The
even-
weakling Ultimate T is dead, and then you just see her in the shadows.
Right. Right. And she even mentions that to Walter Kamui, as she's cutting his head off, you'd be surprised how many powerful people are in this world. Like, there's even people stronger
That's
than me.
right. That's
So
right.
I think in a way she was foreshadowing Ragna, which
Eh.
he's supposed to be like the ultimate killer of dragons.
Let's just say he's the ultimate. Never mind. Go ahead.
We're about to get there because I know you're about to talk shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Walter Kamui does his transformation, and now he's actually the lightning god and able to basically
mess with
turn. He can turn his arms into like the dragon claw that he received, the demon sword.
Can't even fuck with him.
Yeah, dude, Ragna can't. At first, he can't, and he's getting wrecked to the point where he gets his head cut off.
Yes, chopped and off.
destroys Ragna's arm sword, right?
Pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
Didn't he cut it off? kinda?
He completely overwhelms Ragnar.
He
It's
does.
embarrassing. And then when he chops his head off, you're like,
Like, he's all trying to stop it. It's like, oh, getting close. to
oh
his
yeah,
neck.
yeah, yeah. He
Dude.
first did that. He get cut in his neck, and then he like tried to stop it, and then he got away from that. But then they cut it off later.
Right. Because of that speed, he's so fast and so strong that he surpassed him. I mean,
How
it
do
is
you-
what it is.
What's the difference in feeling of when they cut Starlia's head off
And that's
and
my
they
gripe.
cut Ragna's head off?
To answer your question, not right.
How? Yes. How differently do you feel
Immense.
about those two?
Immensely different. I feel like it doesn't matter anymore. Cutting heads off. I've been hurt already, and just seeing people's heads keep cutting off. Walter Camus gets cut off for maybe 5 different episodes now, and that's fine. He can reheal fine.
Right.
Fine.
And he can heal.
But everybody else can reheal too.
I mean, if they're strong enough.
Dude, you cut off Starlia's head and you bring her back. You do that. Starlia head cut was one of the most powerful scenes I've seen in such a long time.
It was.
Because the episode also ended there.
It was, yeah.
But to see her come back, okay, whatever, fine. I'm rolling with you. Now to see Ragnar's head get cut off, and then for us to see him just grab his head and put it back on. What the fuck's going on, dude?
Well,
What's
you're
going on, man?
comparing a human to a
sword?
sword.
Ooh, just sword now.
To a sword.
You cut my head off. Put it back. Dude, it just feels ass pulley to me.
That's fine.
And it's losing its consistency to me.
That's fine. You could say that. That's a totally valid gripe. And I was a little upset that he grabbed his own head and put it back on and held it there. He's like, oh, guy's gonna kill you. And he's all trying to grunt.
He was like, oh my god, dude.
I just don't. The thing that like kind of makes me upset is like I don't know what Ragna the sword like is capable of.
Right. Well,
Everything.
He can turn his arms into swords. Like, what do you
Cut his
want?
whole body into pieces, whatever. You can just put it together, right?
I know, but I just
Sword.
feel like there should be like maybe some like limitations to his power because like once you are able to just kind of after you get your head chopped off and you just kind of grab it and put it right back on, it's like okay, so once that happens, what
at least be
what
weaker.
what can stop you or
Yeah.
what are your limitations as a sword humanoid? Like
I mean,
I just want some parameters to work within.
Water? Can rust him or what? Like, what do you got to do?
pushing back on that. If Walter Kamui can do it, he should be able to do it too.
So
the power levels.
So answer Devin's point then. How does it affect the story to you then? Because if he can do anything, who cares?
He's already okay. Here's the thing: the story is already established from his future self. He is the strongest being partnered with Crimson. You can't really refute the fact that he can survive everything when he already has.
No, because everything happening now is different than what happened in his future past. It's all different.
I'll give you that. It is different. It is very different.
Paul,
but here's the thing.
Round us up.
Here's the thing. He survived. He's doing the final attack. The ultimate, he even called it the monarch killing move. And he's doing it to Walter Kamui. Yeah. And before all that happens, you have a quick flashback of how Walter Kamui and Ultimate Tia end up meeting. And this is way back when she was just a regular clone, part of the Solarian church. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're just walking and saving second-class citizens and everything, letting lower people die. And all of a sudden, you see this crash, and all the rubble kills all the sisters except for her. And who is it? It's a young, very young kid version of Walter Kamui.
Ultimately powered boy.
Yes, and at this point, I don't think he has the claw yet.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't have the claw, but he's fighting both. My bad. He's fighting both the Solarian Church and the dragons at the same time. And it just so happens he kind of bit off more than he could chew, and he fought a supreme dragon, which means he fought someone like Borgias or Ultimatia even.
And he got beat up.
He did. He's about to die. And he's like, I don't want to owe anybody nothing. I killed my mom on the way out, so I don't want to owe you nothing too, so don't save me. And then she's all running scared and everything. But she has a moment where she's like, you know what? Even though I'm a clone, I'm tired of people telling me what to do.
I don't want to be a sheep anymore.
Exactly, Cray.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
You're mad at everything. So, that happens, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to take my destiny in my own hands, and I'm going to save this little kid who could probably kill me as soon as he wakes up. Which he does before she even saves him. He fucking kills her, and he's like, time for her back. And he does it a couple of times. Yeah. But she ends up saving him and makes her a promise afterwards because he owes her now.
I promise I won't shock you anymore.
Yeah,
or I'll promise. Death in this anime? What is it?
It's losing me, man. It's losing me.
I mean, death is obviously present because the whole Argentium core is demolished. Starly is dead. Man. Yeah.
Well, watch him come back.
Maybe.
Watch him come back.
We don't know. Yeah, you're
watch him come back.
We don't know. But the fact is, right as of this moment, after the end of this episode, they're dead. And that's pretty much how it ends because the final attacks don't even hit yet.
I just feel like you don't use all that up in season 1, you know?
Nope.
You start bringing back people like...
Exactly.
Season 2?
At least.
I hope so, because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it yet.
This anime peaked right before Starlia died.
Yeah.
To me.
Well, Gundam peaked after the first episode.
Okay, guys.
So
episode 23 down of Ragna Crimson. Like, comment, subscribe.
Final fight next episode, hopefully.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Find out next time. I'll say the people.